Hello everybody, your friendly neighborhood Bricky is here, and it is story time once again. This time we will be discussing the story of the DayZucchini. There I am, myself and three friends. We are all codenamed. I am black, one is red, one is green, and one is cowboy. We were named after the assorted hats we were wearing, three of us with different colored berets and another with a glorious cowboy hat. We were a four-man squad who met amidst a firefight in Berezino, all guns pointed at the four of us, and we decided not to kill each other. We were all geared out, stocked to the brim with high-class weapons, ammunition, and supplies. I held in my hand 100 7.62 rounds, a pristine long-range scope, and a green spray-painted Mosin. Green and red held fully tricked-out M4 assault rifles. Cowboy had an SKS rifle. We all wore Russian TTSKO pants and jackets with full body armor. We were completely prepared. We had walked for almost an hour because DayZ had not implemented vehicles yet. Our destination? The Northwestern Airfield, the hotspot for the most unspeakable violence and looting in the entire game. We told stories about our childhood. We connected very well. Red was from California like myself, Green was from New Mexico and had a thick Mexican accent, and Cowboy was from Texas. I was in the middle of telling a story of mine when we had reached the gates of the airfield. There was no more time for talk. It was go time. This was a full server, 40 people in it. We didn't do any of the hacking or annoying server hopping like the others did. We didn't combat log either. We played DayZ the way it was meant to be played. Not like these clans of 20 with sub-accounts to stash character gear on. But this wasn't time for gloating. This was time for tactics. We went sneaky beaky like through the base. I took cover in the back of the base, kept myself scoped in, always scanning and giving orders to my other three teammates. Red and Green stayed in the front as they had the most firepower. Cowboy stayed a distance from them, stopping at important points to cover them as he had a PU scope. I could feel the cold sweat around my neckbeard. Heart was out racing the nation of Kenya. Red and Green reached the first barracks. They lost sight from me and Cowboy, who was hiding in a bush at the moment. They move in, palms are sweaty. My mouse is looking like an oiled up porno. They find some supplies, a few bullets, a hunting backpack to replace Green's mountain backpack. Some food they took. Not terrible, but we had a long way to go. Oh fuck. A Mosin round was fired from what sounded like right next to my head. Little pee comes out of me as I swear to God I almost have a stroke. I go prone instead of crouched like I was, hoping that shot wasn't aimed at me. I roll around furiously, positive the shot was coming at me. I realize I could not roll left anymore. I look over and there is a fully geared sniper, gone prone, shooting at something on the airfield tarmac. I pull out a fire axe and take one clean swing at his head. Even with the melee animations looking like Walter Jr. trying to fence with his crutches, I hit him and he dies instantly. I loot his gear, some rounds and some bandages, and one pristine zucchini. Yummy, I say, as I look over the large green rod in my hands. Realize he may have friends. Oh shit. Do a quick once-over and book it up another hill. Cowboy, meet up with Red and Green in the barracks. I need to readjust. Alrighty. They all meet up and cover the doors. I make it to another bush and try to find a spot where I can get an angle on them. We are all set up and I give them the order to leave the barracks. They move to the hangars and do a once-over real quick. We are all on edge. My character is breathing heavier than 300 pounds of water weight after a 5K. Through my shaking vision, I see a small squad entering the jail building with Cowboy staying back to guard a tree. They enter the jail and it is more packed than a white girl in a Harlem gangbang. Weapons, packs, food, supplies, everything you would ever need. Green swaps his beret for a green ballistic helmet. I am excited when they told me they found a sewing kit. My clothes were starting to wear. They were about to leave the jail when I heard Cowboy scream a giant, "Fuck!" Cowboy had been killed. The "you are dead" scream filled his monitor as I am positive he broke his hand on the desk he just smashed. I didn't hear a noise, neither did he, so he either was sniped from the other direction or he was killed by a melee weapon. Then it hit me like a boomerang laced with anthrax. Who's that guy I killed sniping at? Who's on the tarmac? Oh fuck, we aren't alone. Green and Red are on high alert, checking all the windows for this mystery guy. Gunshots go off at Green and Red. Red is hit in the chest armor and it goes from worn to ruined along with the magnum he had inside of it. They both instantly go to ground and crawl to the stairs to make sure nothing comes up. I am looking around the jail, trying to find the shooters. Behind the hangars comes out one player. He is only lightly armed and I can see he has an axe as well as an SKS on his back. I take a shot at him, but because I moved to a different spot, I didn't calculate the range change and the shot went too high. The player darted behind the jail and out of my line of sight. I tell Red and Green that they have company. The player then says, "Which one of you shits shot my friend?" He must have been referring to the sniper I killed. Thankfully, I haven't been taking shots, so I don't think they are aware that I am still here. Red and Green stay silent. "I know you were up there. I shot one of you fucks. If you tell me, I'll let the other one live." They still stay quiet. Fine then. Nothing happens for about 5 minutes. I am fixated in my sniper scope. Red and green have their barrels pointed at the stairway still. I look at the server population, 33 out of 40. Guess a few people left. I take a quick sweep around the tarmac, and before I could even get back to the jail, I hear Red say, I hear a shit ton of footsteps. Look back at the jail, server population is now 30 out of 40 now. 6 guys, ranging from fully geared to medium geared, are swarming the barracks. All of them have guns. 3 SKS rifles, an M4, a Mosin, and 1 guy with a Magnum. Get the fuck to the bottom of the stairs, guys, they're coming in. Red and green ran down the stairwell and kept eyes on the doors. The guy yells at them, it's your last chance, faggots. They continue to say nothing. As soon as they are all at the door, I take a shot and it hits the guy that I saw earlier. I adjusted the range for it and it hits him square in the head. He was wearing a ballistic helmet. He drops straight to the floor just as the door opens. Green and red unload a 60-round clip each into the doorway as all hell ensues. Gunfire flies from all directions, from both sides. The Magnum guy was in the front and dies absolutely instantly. The M4 guy as well. Green takes 2 shots in the chest. The first hits his armor and the second causes him to bleed. Must not have been a fatal shot. Red takes a shot in the leg and is fractured, so he hits the ground. I take one more shot and pop one of the 2 remaining SKS guys in the head. He goes down. The last SKS guy closes the door and runs to the back of the barracks. It gets very quiet now. Anybody and everybody who heard that is changing their minds to loot the airfield right now. Red rolls underneath the stairs and Green joins him. Green has lost a lot of blood. Red's leg is still broken and neither of them have morphine or splints. They bandage themselves up and watch the stairwell, waiting for the last guy to storm in and try to finish them off. I have a morphine injector and an IV bag for Green. I weigh the options and realize going in to help them is better than staying behind. Take a quick once-over and start rushing across the tarmac. As this happens, the SKS guy behind the jail is finished bandaging. Green and Red can hear his footsteps. Red is relieved that his MP5K he has in the backpack is still okay. It's his favorite gun. The footsteps are getting closer, and they are prepared for the impending doom. They quickly realize the footsteps aren't at the door, but rather to their right. As they turn to look into the room, they realize the door is open. The guy with the SKS is there in the window. A split second passes, and 3 shots are set off from him. Green is hit in the arm and then in the chest and goes unconscious. Red cannot move quick enough to fire back and instead rolls out of the line of fire but takes a shot in the back. Green is bleeding heavily and Red is starting to fade as well. Put on some Jordans and haul ass to the spot. I don't even stop to check corners. I book it to the other side of the jail where I see the SKS guy reload. Put on my gunner glasses and pull a sick quick scope on his ass and hit him dead in the throat and he drops to the ground. Now for my friends. I run to Red first as he is still more savable than Green. I bandage him up, give him some food and everything else I can do to help him. Green is still unconscious. Fuck. Hero time. I bandage his ass up and give him IV saline. I force feed him some peaches. Bitches love peaches. He is still unconscious. It's time for the true test. Pull a defibrillator and a battery and shock the fucker. I put more electricity in him than Mace Windu. It's not working. Get an idea. Decide to check the bodies. Check the Magnum guy, nothing. M4, still fucking nothing. First dead SKS guy, some 9mm bullets for the MP5K. Red is happy. Second SKS guy had an actual MP5K, so that's cool. Finally, that last guy that killed Cowboy. I click open contents and accidentally click check body. Body has a regular pulse and is warm to the touch. Wait. Check contents. His ballistic helmet is ruined. He took my Mosin shot straight to the dome and I knocked him out. Must have been a pristine helmet. Check his backpack. An EpiPen. Fuck yes. Handcuff the fucker just in case he wakes back up. Bullet into the jail to use the pen on Green. As the pen is in my hands, Green says, I died. Are you fucking kidding me? All this work. And all this time. And fucking nothing. Rage filled my veins. Red checked his backpack, his MP5K was ruined. Rage filled his veins. I take what I need off Green's body and head outside. Look down the tarmac, a man with an SKS on his back and handcuffs is waddling down the tarmac. I look at him, Red looks at him. A cold gaze fills the air. I pull out my Mosin rifle and shoot him in the knee. His character falls to the ground. We come up to him. A handcuffed man on the ground with broken legs, the guy that started this all. You guys are a bunch of fucking pieces of shit bandits, blah, blah, blah. He was mad as fuck, but I didn't care. Red didn't care. It was time for vengeance. I gave Red a kitchen knife, and he went to town on this kid's ass, stabbing and stabbing away. He was cracking up at all the little stab sounds that came out of him as he continually poked this guy. Took off all the guy's clothes. We force-fed him all the food we had until he was completely stuffed. He went unconscious from the blood loss, and I managed to bandage him up and give him the EpiPen to wake him back up. Red was about to call it quits, but not yet. I looked at Red and said, Here, buddy. He looks at the ground at what I had dropped, a green zucchini covered in disinfectant spray from my very own personal bottle. Red takes it to his hand and force feeds the player. The player instantly pukes and goes unconscious, still swearing at us. We look at his body, check his pulse. He has no pulse. His body goes limp. He had finally died. We were satisfied. We had our vengeance. Zucchini brought us the justice we deserved. We ran out of sight and headed back to the other side of the tarmac. Moved on to a different area. Not heading back to that airfield. We needed somewhere else. We needed somewhere safer. And that, everybody, is the story of the DayZucchini.